Hello, and welcome to Dente Rigamortis. I'm Review Cultist.
And I'm Dr. Leviathan.
And we're here to discuss those internet stories most creepy and most pasta. Tonight we have Robo. So, for November, I decided to do Robovember.
You ran it by me.
That's true, yeah. Sorry.
I agreed to it.
Yeah. Robot? Yeah. So for the entire month of November, each episode will be about robots, although it was hard to find them. Apparently they're in a bit of a demand for robot creepypastas.
Or apparently there is no demand for Robo.
Oh yeah, there is no demand, yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Which saddens me, because...
Robots.
I would like to see more creepypastas of them. So get on that internet. So for those of you just not in the know, creepypasta are scary short stories that get copied and pasted across the internet. You can find better descriptions and whatnot online. Go Google it.
But that's the gist.
Yeah. So we'll just go into this one. It's a very short pasta, so this may be a short episode. Robo is this Robo Raptor, which is a toy from the 90s or early 2000s, that this narrator, who's unnamed, picks up at a flea market and decides to name it Dominic or Robo. And Robo actually sticks. Yeah, yeah, exactly, right? Like, I don't know why we needed the information about Dominic.
Hey, with a pasta this short, all the padding you can.
And so she brings it home because it is a girl, and leaves it on the. It stays on a shelf right next to her door, where she puts little pieces of paper into its mouth and stuff, so she doesn't forget it. And also, she almost hits her head every time she goes by it. And at some point, she finds two permanent markers, an orange and a green one, and decides to spend a couple of hours coloring it up.
A couple of days.
Sorry, several days coloring, which
begs the question: how the fuck big were these Roboraptors?
They weren't that big. I think they were the size. They were about 2 feet across.
All right,
from head to tail. So I guess they were pretty big.
But several days worth of coloring.
Yeah, I mean, unless she I don't know, unless she just got some really crappy markers and she had to keep buying new ones.
Well, yeah, but she just found them.
Yeah, exactly.
So I highly doubt she's going to go buy them to replace them.
Exactly. So yeah, she spends days doing it. And maybe she's not spending the whole day doing it. Maybe she just off and on over the course of a couple of days.
Well, then
we're not.
She needs to dedicate her shit.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, focus, bitch.
So, the Roboraptor, is now green and orange, and it almost smiles when she looks at it. So she's not as weirded out by it or whatever, because apparently she had some kind of dread about it. And she's sleeping one night, and she hears the artificial voice. Or an artificial roar of the Roboraptor in the middle of the night, and she wakes up and puts her phone light on to shine it onto it, and also she's afraid of the dark because she's a teenage girl. That's just mentioned in it. And she takes a look at the robot. I don't remember, is there anything... Is it here where it says the robot, where it actually starts speaking?
Afraid of heights, Robo is.
Yeah, it speaks in this, again, artificial voice.
I am Robo Yoda.
Exactly. Oh my god, yeah. That's what I thought too.
Ooh, Robo Yoda IR.
So, she deactivates it or turns the power off and says, go back to bed, Robo. And goes back to bed herself. And then for the next little while, she can't keep her mind off of Robo. Starts treating it like an actual living thing. I hope Robo has enough to eat. Wait, it's a toy. Why would it need to eat? That's silly.
But she still brings it food.
Yeah, and then she still brings it food and puts it in its house. Yes, its house. It's actually more of a dog crate that just doesn't have the lid, but...
Door.
Yeah, the door, sorry. But Robo likes it there better than the shelf. So, it's we get this character, starting to kind of,
go mad.
Essentially, yeah, start to go, crazy. As she starts developing a personality for this Robo. And it just goes on from there. She has to go home to her mom's place and has like separation anxiety for the robot, and goes home and then comes back when she gets back, she like runs up the stairs to find Robo just sitting, like leaning on its cage, but it's got some red stuff on it, and she feels it's like,
You'll never guess what the red stuff is, folks.
Yeah, I know.
You'll never guess.
Yeah, you'll never see it coming.
What's red and drippy and you can't live without it?
Yeah. And she goes to like
Tomato soup, bitches.
she goes to feel the grab some off, and also she notes that like the teeth of the Roboraptor is soft plastic, but wait, they were hard plastic.
They're hard plastic. They're sharp, and she's like, no, they're soft plastic, and they're like, no, it's hard plastic.
I know because I cut my finger on my sister's Roboraptor when I was younger. And when it bit me, I was like, "What?" Anyway, so yeah, she goes to like taste the red stuff, and Roboraptor in her voice,
it could be fucking paint.
Yeah, and Roboraptor like cries out in its artificial voice. It's like, "No, don't drink that." It's like, "What?" Or don't taste it. It's like, "Why?" It's like,
girl master.
Yeah. Sorry, no girl master. That's what it is. It's like, why? What is it? And it's like, it's blood. Blood from what? And then Roboraptor squeezes between her legs and goes out to the closet, and reveals that there are 2 dead little girls in the closet. Are they dead?
There's no statement of their living or non-living.
Okay, yeah.
They are 2 young girls in a heap, terrified expressions on their faces as they clutched each other's clothes.
Yeah, okay. That's what it said, but I mean, like, when I was like, wait, so are they dead? Or anyway, so yeah, that's what I assumed, but we all know what assumptions are.
Yeah, they're a chance for you to look like a fool.
Yeah.
But I think you're right in this case, because
then right afterward, like, she's like, she looks at the bodies and then like closes, like, and then she says she's really proud of Robo and like starts hugging it like it's an actual creature, like it's her little baby dinosaur cyborg.
At this point it is.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah, and she's so proud of it. It did a good job, and then it asks her, Will Master Girl help?
Will Girl Master get rid of the bodies for Robo? God!
And then she's like, of course.
Like you don't have it right in front of you.
I know. But she's like, of course, because I'll wait till nighttime. And then she goes to bed with the Robo. And that's pretty much the end of the story.
No, that is literally the end of the story.
Yeah, that is the end of the story. So yeah, like, okay, so we're dealing not so much with a robot as with possibly a cursed object that is just a toy. It's a toy robot.
It could be a fucking robot.
Okay, it is technically a toy robot, so...
Yeah, well, it's a robot. I'm gonna say it counts for Robovember.
Yeah, okay. But it is also more... Like, I don't... Like, is it, like, a cursed object?
Or is she just Nutter Butters?
That's another thing, yeah. Like, it definitely... Like, she definitely starts spiraling into this, like, her reality becomes a lot weirder. Or, like, she starts accepting a lot more weirder things in her reality. Like... I don't know, like, she becomes more complacent with, like, this insanity that's spiraling around her, so...
It's not even that she becomes, it's that she's just, like, this shit happens, and she's just okay with it.
Yeah, she's remarking it off as if it's nothing. Like,
and, like, I kind of like the idea of playing this one off as she's totally Nutter Butters, and, you know... She's doing this, and it has nothing to do with the toy.
The toy is actually
In fact, she might not even own the toy. Like, the toy might not even be a physical thing for all
that
you
would
know.
Be good.
Like, exactly. That to me is... Well, it's just more fun.
Yeah. There was also the mention in the story of she recalls the flea market dude saying it's like I got my grandmother or my granddaughter told me to get rid of this because it creeped her out. But wasn't that a dream?
That was it. Yeah.
I was like, wait, no, that was maybe just a long forgotten memory fragment or something like that. And I was like, what the fuck? Yeah. So it kind of like helps out like her like kind of like not sure if she's going insane or not in this whole thing.
Well.
Or if she's always been insane.
It's written as though she's not, I would say.
Yeah,
But I'm pretty sure I could make a solid argument that she's just crazy.
Yeah.
Personal opinion.
I think it probably would have been better with that in mind.
It instantly makes it better thinking that for me. Like, to take this at face value, nah. But to take it, to read into it a little bit and, kind of make that inference, it's actually a little bit better, and I can almost appreciate the fact that it has some subtlety.
Yeah. But I don't think that's,
I don't think it's intentional.
Which is sad, because that's a really cool idea that this story has given us. And even, the cursed, or not a cursed object, 'cause that's not even inferred at all. But this, creepy robot thing is also a cool idea, but it doesn't seem like it was really executed well with the story.
No, well, I mean, it just... There's no real...
It just ends too abruptly,
and there's no real sense of time, and there's not a whole lot of build-up. How long has she owned this thing?
Yeah.
And in comparison to that, how long has weird shit been going on?
We don't get a lot of details about this character, because, it says, she's... she lives separate from her mom, so it's is she a college student? Is she have her own house? Is this her dad's place? I know
she's a teenage girl.
Exactly, that's...
So you can infer that she's not a college student.
Okay, fair enough. So she's not...
Yeah,
exactly.
You can then infer that her parents are divorced or separated, and that she lives with her dad, and...
I don't know, I just would have liked some clarity on that. Because she said, I have to go to my mom's house. It's I guess that...
that's because you've grown up in a nuclear family.
Yeah.
So you don't automatically think these things and make the connections.
That's true.
Because, I've throughout my life, I've just had so many friends who are like, yeah, I'm going to my mom's. And it's right, because your parents don't live together.
Okay. I guess that's definitely the case.
I've been making that connection with that wording pretty much all my life, so...
I guess, again, just two different opinions on that, because my standpoint would...
It could have been cleared up better, but to say it needs it, I don't necessarily think is true.
Okay.
It definitely, it could use it, I guess, I suppose. I'll meet you halfway on this one.
Fair enough.
Because, maybe I'm jumping to the... Maybe I reached the conclusion a little too easily or a little too simply than a lot of people.
Yeah, because we have two standing views, and if one of us caught something and the other one didn't, then there's going to be equal amount of people on either side of that.
No.
No? Okay. I'm just wrong.
Well, no. I'm saying you're weird because you grew up in a nuclear family.
Right.
That makes you weird.
Yeah. Apparently that makes me in the minority. Anyway, family status aside. The other thing that I had a bit of a pet peeve with this is that the tense in the story, it looks at the beginning she's using past tense to tell the story and then present tense to tell her thoughts at the time. But then as the story goes on, she just starts swapping between them, and I'm not sure if that's just her making mistakes of using past or present tense, or if it's her inner monologue coming out or something like that. It mentions it early on. It's when she's talking about Roboraptor is a toy. It can't be that, and that, as I thought. And her thoughts on it are in present tense, and the rest of it's in past tense. And then as it goes on, it goes.
That's because she's not thinking it now. She's telling you what she her exact thought.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, you're not. You're. Yeah, you need to put this one to bed.
Okay.
Because. I'm going through here, I'm just skimming, I'm not reading every line, but she actually seems to be on top of that.
Okay. I don't know, when I first read it, it was what the... okay.
Yeah, no, she's pretty on top of her tense. What you're noticing is a thought from that time, as a thought from when it happened, as opposed to a thought that she's having as she's writing.
Gotcha.
Because there aren't any of those.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
There's no real switching of tense here. I mean, she does use both, but they're properly used.
Okay.
Again, this is, I read it once, and then I just skimmed through it while you were talking. So, you might be right, but based on that skim, because when I read it, I didn't catch any of that. That's why I was skimming. Because
I didn't read it earlier today, so...
I thought you were being a little... I thought you were, not making mountains out of molehills, but, making mountains out of planes.
Yeah. Well, no, I mean, like, it was, like, just a little... it was, like, one of the pet peeves I had with the story. Like, it wasn't...
Yeah, but it's not actually
as it is not, yeah. Okay.
Again, I could be, like, you know, my skim is not 100% foolproof, but I'm pretty sure I found what you were talking about.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, otherwise, I don't really recall anything. Do you have anything else about this one?
This one needs to be longer.
Yeah.
Like
it kind of ends on the climax, or like not on the climax, at the start of like when shit gets real.
Well, no, it ends at a good place. It's just it's missing a lot of words.
Okay, yeah.
In the middle, there's no real sense of, I want to say, escalation, and that's wrong because there is escalation, but the escalation is just off.
Yeah.
And I mean, if this is like some sort of haunted item or whatever,
or she's going crazy,
or robot thing.
Yeah.
No.
Oh no. Okay.
Then
that needs to be a little bit more.
That needs to be extended. There needs to be more events.
We need to see more demonstration of this thing, like, in action.
Exactly, and we need a sense of time because,
yeah, well, the timeline's kind of like a couple of days.
Well,
and then she's just
for all I know, she's had it for fucking years, and it hasn't done anything.
Well, that's the other thing about the end of the story.
So, and that might have been, like, that could have been cool, but then you need a reason for it to turn on, like it falls off the shelf.
And then that starts...
And then it starts because, you know, it turns it on. That could have been...
She does mention that it's been stuck on hunt mode. Because it doesn't have the remote, which makes it a useless thing. So I'm wondering, like, that could have been elaborated on to give it that, like, thing. But yeah.
Maybe that's why it killed people, but that doesn't explain why it has consciousness.
And also why yeah, exactly.
So, like, if it had always had consciousness, but it was just inert, and then, you know, it fell, or...
And then suddenly it's able to move again.
Yeah.
Or she maybe, like, it was like, it was an older toy, so, like, some of the joints didn't work, but then I cleaned it up. Yeah. And suddenly it's able to move around again. So, yeah. Or a fresh set of batteries.
Yeah. Anything like that. I mean, because I'm definitely under the impression that she's had it for a while, and then she, like, colored it, and then the roar happened, and Robo afraid of heights, and then, like,
she starts
defeating it and whatnot, and then, like... And I just don't understand why the hell it's been inactive all of the time she had it beforehand.
Yeah.
Like
unless, like, she just got, like, the flea market thing was, like, a more recent thing than it should have been. But we're not given that information.
Yeah.
And that's what this story needs.
Yeah.
That
it needs a more concrete timeline. And, like, honestly, I just think it'd be better if it had an event to kick off the sentience.
Yeah. I know it doesn't even have to be that anything like extreme. Just
changing batteries. Yeah, that'll fine. Fix it. I'm not saying it needs to be this elaborate gypsy curse on a
or a lightning strikes through the window, like kind of thing.
Yeah,
it doesn't need that. It just needs like falls on the ground, or it gets cleaned up, or batteries. Like something as mundane as that.
Yeah. Like just a reason why it's not so much a reason as why it's happening now. It's a reason why it didn't happen before.
Exactly, yeah.
Or, clean up your timeline and, like, fucking have that shit set.
Yeah, exactly, like, just...
Like, otherwise, I kind of dig this story.
Yeah, I kind of was on the shelf, on the fence for this one, because it was like, it's not a bad, like, there's some cool ideas in it, it's just...
It needs to be longer.
It needs to be edited and fixed up. Or it needs to be, like, elaborated on. Yeah.
Yeah.
Looked over again.
I don't really have any problems with what's here, but except for a lack of what's here. Or a lack of what isn't here, I guess.
Yeah.
And I mean, like, I appreciate my good short pastas when they're terrible, but this one isn't necessarily terrible.
Yeah.
Like, there's a good story here. Potentially. And I mean, I kind of like the crazy.
The crazy angle?
Yeah.
Yeah, the crazy angle would be good. The robot gaining the robot toy gaining sentience, like small soldiers or something like that.
Being built with sentience.
Yeah. I actually think I owned one of those at one point, but I don't know where it went. Or maybe one of my relatives had it or something. But yeah, it's a cool little and it's a throwback to a toy that somebody who read this might remember. So it has some familiarity with it as well, because it is an actual toy. But yeah, so I guess I don't know. I wouldn't recommend this version of the story. If this was cleaned up and elaborated on, I could recommend it a lot more.
Yeah, that is definitely the solid case for me. Is that this isn't
complete?
Yeah, this is like a first draft,
which we've seen all the time in creepypastas.
Yeah, and I mean, don't get me wrong, it's a good first draft. The writing's solid, just short. So, either laziness or rushed. And I mean, I can understand both.
Actually, I think one of the comments in the thing had somebody actually edit the grammar and spelling of this. So I mean, for the Creepypasta.wiki page, I mean, but so I mean that might have helped. Yeah, there's only 3 comments on it. So
yeah, I don't know. I didn't catch the mechanical stuff necessarily as far as the writing went. It was solid. There might have been some stuff, especially towards the end.
Yeah.
I didn't. But I also that really just supports my theory that it's a spiral into madness.
Yeah, exactly.
Because hey, what do you usually do when you at the end of a spiral into madness? You stop making sense.
Exactly. Yeah. So I guess kind of do we still recommend it or?
Unfortunately, no.
Okay.
At least I don't. I mean,
I'm again on the fence on it because it has good ideas. I would like to see the story a second draft of the story or an improvement of an elaboration of the story. But the story as is, I don't think I could recommend it.
Yeah, I mean, it's something we've all seen before, and we've all seen it done better.
Yeah.
That's just a thing.
Yeah. I mean, that said, if you do want to listen to this after listening to us ramble a little bit about it, it is on the Creepypasta.wiki page. Just type in Robo Creepypasta on Google and you'll find it. There is a YouTube reading of it. It's, again, 5 minutes long to read. And the reading is pretty good. Although my only pet peeve with the reading is that, and I'll leave a link in the description below. But my only problem with the reading was that when the guy does the voice of the Roboraptor, it's this screechy inhaling voice that you can do with your and some of the words get really garbled. If I hadn't read this story ahead of time, I would not have really understood some of the stuff he was saying as Roboraptor. So I mean, I understand for the character it makes sense, but also you're reading this to somebody, make it audible, understandable. Yeah. But again, I'll leave a comment, or I'll leave a link in the description below. And yeah, I guess that's about it for the first episode of Robovember. Yay! So, if you have any comments, you can leave them in the comment section below, wherever this gets posted, whether it be on Kiwi6, Tumblr, Facebook, YouTube. You can also send us a review on iTunes. It helps us out a lot. And you can leave us messages on Twitter at Dr. Leviathan or Review Cultist. And you can also send us emails at aldenterigamortis@gmail.com. That's aldenterigamortis@gmail.com. Or you can also leave us suggestions for other creepypastas you'd like us to suggest on the show. Oh, and you can also donate if you would like to support us on crazonstudios.tumblr.com. You can check out all the title cards for each episode, and there's a little donate button right on the side. So, until next time, I have been your host, Review Cultist.
And I'm still Dr. Leviathan.
And this has been Al Dente Rigamortis. Sleep well.
Bitches. Jizz. Jizz. Jizz.